We're nothing if not, what's that called? Integrity. We have integrity.
We do have integrity.
It's integral.
Yes.
Integral.
Yes.
To our
We have dignity.
integration.
We take pride in our work.
And we are excited to be here.
Yes.
Yeah, that's ended on a
Yeah.
flat.
Yeah.
You ready?
There are no gloves in your glove compartment. If you lost your gloves, your favorite gloves, and your best friend said to you, "Hey, did you check the glove compartment?" You would strangle him.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome, a podcast we know Conan O'Brien would love. Give it up for your hosts, Mike and Darin.
Hi, I'm Darin.
I am Mike.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome, Cincinnati's comedy podcast. This is episode 268.
That is a lot of numbers.
It is. We've done a lot of episodes.
And most of the time we've been 100% correct, but I have to come out the door here.
Very
I have
rarely,
to
yeah.
issue a correction.
Yes.
I have been informed that I may have exaggerated a certain instance. If you listen to our episode last week, we talked about
Mike went to
our
Florida.
vacation. Yeah, my vacation with my family. And there was an instance I was told today you may have bent the truth a bit. So I want to, and it has to do with when we were in line at the Universal. So we went to Universal and Disney.
You flat out said your wife assaulted somebody in line.
We were in the line for the Harry Potter Ministry of Magic, a 3-hour line for a 30-second ride. I mean, who...
That would make anybody punch somebody.
You're excited. It was more than a 2-minute ride, but we exaggerated.
Right.
Anyway, I said that Bess karate chopped a little girl and made her cry.
And
That's what I said.
and you're telling me now that that was not true?
She made a gesture. To me, it looked like a karate chop, but it wasn't. She was putting her hand. So what had happened is we had been seeing people cut in line constantly. We were on day 5 days of parks.
That's enough
We'd
to drive
seen
anybody mad.
So many people cutting lines,
Yeah.
and Bess had told me you know what? The next one of these people that tries to do that, the next line cutter, I'm stopping them.
They're going to get
And
it.
so she put her hand firmly on the banister
Okay.
and stopped the girl.
Is
and,
it-
and by the way, girl with asterisk, I've been informed that the way I described it made it sound like a 5-year-old girl in pigtails with tears streaming down her face. And I've been informed that it was more of a 12 to 13-year-old girl.
Oh, okay.
I can't tell age. I don't know.
I don't see
That
age.
everyone
Yeah.
below the age of 30 looks like a child to me.
That's true.
So
Yeah. Now, was the arm movement akin to, say, you're driving and somebody stops the car really fast and you hold your arm out to keep a beloved family member from going through the windshield? Was that the type of arm movement?
So I've been trying because I knew you were going to ask this question. You're a very insightful interviewer.
Thank you, Mike.
I've been thinking,
It's insightful.
Chuck Norris movies, John Wick, how they've made their motion, and I think it was more like you said, not necessarily a parent stopping their kid, because if you're a Gen Xer like we are, and your parent used that to stop you, they shattered part of your sternum. I mean, it's like boom. She didn't touch the girl. But it was a swift, firm.
Shattered sternum.
It was a grip on the banister that said, hey, enough.
Yeah, cool.
I'm tired of
Chick.
your It stops here. It stops today.
You don't mess
It
ar-
stops with you.
You don't mess with Bess.
No. And so the wind carried
You
from
need
that.
you need to make a T-shirt of that.
Don't mess
right
with
now.
Bess?
Don't mess with Bess.
It's going up on the merch shop.
Okay.
The wind from that may have blown the girl's hair back. And I think it was more the shock that someone stood up to her and said, nay. Nay.
Child.
And then after she explained that she truly did have parents or a ferret or whatever she was looking for up there, the guy behind us said,
People love bringing their ferrets.
just let her go. She's going to be, back here making everybody sad.
Yeah.
So Bess relented and said, okay, if you're got to go to your parents or whatever, go. So that's what actually happened.
Okay. You see, I think that you had a similar conversation like what I have had with my wife, because I can mention that we were at Kroger and it was Thursday night. We were, looking through the produce section, and Libby would say, "It wasn't 8:00 at night, Darin. We were there. We got there right after work."
Yeah, it was 7:59.
It's like, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's not, you see, and I've also told my entire family that I reserve the right to embellish these stories for comedic purposes.
For comedic effect.
Irritable Dad Syndrome is loosely based on the real life stories of Mike Odell and Darin Cox. So, sometimes that doesn't fly with them.
You know what? And we're happy to take questions. We have people that watch us on the Twitches and they chat with us. We have people, patrons that send us questions.
Oh, yeah. We love
People
answering
on the
your
Facebook.
questions.
If you're ever concerned, you say, Mike, did you really get into a fight with a guy at a Tears for Fears concert about U2's Octung Baby? No. But in that story, I said that didn't happen.
Right.
But, Mike, did you really sneak into the Phantom Menace and see a drunk Yoda being interviewed by the news? Yes.
Right.
Yes, I did.
Did a woman really ask me, "Do you want to touch my beats?" Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sure did. Yeah. And I think the fun of this podcast is, you listen and then you call your friends and you have them listen to it with you.
Yeah.
And you say, "Hey, what part of this story do you think is real? And what part do you think might be..."
And I do want to throw something out for Chris Hughes, because I know for a fact he's listening right now. Every single word of the giant eagle lady story is absolutely 100% true.
Yes.
If anything, I may have left something funnier that happened. My brain can only hold so much.
Yeah.
So there, I wanted to clear the air on that.
Thank you. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. So you just went on a journey.
I did. I went on vacation. I went to Hilton Head, South Carolina. And while I was gone, last week's episode that dropped, Dave Lay did a disclaimer at the beginning saying, the date that we recorded, and that if anything were to happen while we were gone, we apologize. And this is one of those situations. While I was in South Carolina, Ozzy Osbourne passed away. Okay, I loved Ozzy.
That one hurt.
Yeah, Mike was a big fan of Ozzy. You've seen him live in concert, right?
I've seen him with Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
I've never seen him by himself, but I saw him with Sabbath.
I saw him on I believe it was the Retirement Sucks tour. And a friend of mine, that's what it was called, because I don't remember what year it was. It was the early 90s, I think, where he said he wasn't doing it anymore. And then 3 years later, he said, "I think I'm going to make some more money." So he came out of retirement, and a buddy of mine wanted to go, and he wanted me to come along. I was like, "Yeah, okay. I think I know a few Ozzy songs." I had no idea that I knew every Ozzy song. Yeah, it's like "Bark at the Moon," and then "No More
Crazy
Tears,"
Train.
"Mr. Crowley." Of course, I knew "Crazy Train," but then it's like he did "The Ultimate Sin," and he did "Shot in the Dark." Do you remember on MTV when "Shot in the Dark" was the #1 video every day for months on MTV? It's like you couldn't go anywhere without hearing.
I remember
"Shot in the Dark."
The first time I saw an Ozzy album when they still had kids. There was a time back when there were vinyl records. I think this was a vinyl record. It was Ozzy. It was an Ozzy Osbourne vinyl record, and it scared me.
Yeah,
it
should.
Yeah. He was like a snake, and there was a woman on it, and it just looked like it looked very scary.
Yeah. But he was great. Yeah, he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice, and he deserved every ounce of fame that he.
I'm.
He once said that as hard as he partied, the only person he never partied as hard with was Elton John.
Yeah.
And that if he had partied as hard as Elton John, it would have killed him earlier. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, you've seen the Elton John movie, the Rocket Man.
I did. Yeah.
One of my favorite. It was a quote. Ozzy was talking about quitting drugs and all this stuff, and then he was talking to the interviewer. The interviewer said, "What's the hardest thing you've ever quit?" And there's a lot of F-bombs and everything. I'll just I can't do an Ozzy impression.
Right.
But he's like, cigarettes.
Yeah.
He's like, I've quit cocaine, I've quit heroin, I've quit drink, I've quit all of it, but cigarettes, it's possible, man.
I think Slash said something like that too. That he had a hard time with the smokes. So, Our friend Joe Chambers has been on the podcast a couple times. He did his version of Johnny Cash singing the Ace of Spades, and I reached out to him and said, well, can we play this song? He said, absolutely. He did a tribute to Ozzy Osbourne. At the end of the episode, listen after the credits, he's going to do See You on the Other Side. The family and I went to Hilton Head, South Carolina on vacation. We've been to Hilton Head, I think this is our 5th time.
And this is a beach town. I know what some of
Yes.
you are thinking. You're thinking what I thought. It's those stone heads. No, that's Easter Island. That's not where...
That is absolutely Easter Island.
I see where the confusion is because it's Hilton Head. But no, there's no stone heads.
Right. And Paris Hilton is not from Hilton
No.
Head either. So, yeah, I think this is the 5th time we went. And we always rent a Verbo. I'm so old. One of the things I love most about going on vacation now is doing laundry while I'm on
I
vacation.
did all of our laundry right before we left.
I know. I love
was
coming home
awesome.
with clean clothes.
Yeah.
And you just put the suitcase away. You don't have to throw
Yeah.
a giant stack of stinky,
No.
beach-smelling crap clothes. So, yeah, we had a nice condo for the first time ever. We had one that was on the beach. You could see the ocean from our patio. It was great. It took 5 minutes to walk out there to the ocean. And we were having just a fantastic time.
I was going to tell you, I think I did tell you, the largest great white shark ever recorded
Yeah.
was making its way to the beaches of the Carolinas as you guys were going to Hilton Head. And I
Really?
wasn't sure exactly. I thought Hilton Head... I had no idea where it was,
That's
but
awesome.
now I feel bad. Did I don't think I warned you.
No, you didn't. No.
It was bigger. So you remember Jaws?
I do. A few years ago, before we went to the beach, Jacob and I watched Jaws together, and Libby said, Darin, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And I said, it'll be fine. And we were both kind of freaked out when we went to the beach, and we almost watched it again because Jaws is having its 50th
So
anniversary.
yeah, this is going to be another case of me embellishing, but only a little bit.
Okay.
Apparently, these researchers were out looking for great white sharks, and they saw one, and they said, and I quote, "Oh my God,
Wow.
that is the largest great white we've ever seen in our lives." And they put a tracker, so they track this thing, and they see where it's going, and it just does stupid, boring shark things
Just-
out there, whatever they do.
Lollygagging out in the water.
But for some reason, it decided to go inland towards the beaches, and it was a news story. This thing, and bigger than the shark in Jaws, because when they made Jaws, they didn't realize that they could get this big.
Right.
And apparently, it was hungry, and decided to go in, do a little, get a little surf and turf action. Get some. What the
Little-
sharks refer to
little
it as beach candy.
Window.
Yeah, do a little window shopping. Just go to the leg buffet.
Yeah, when we were in our room, we were trying to turn on the TV, and we're trying to find Netflix or something. And I swear to God, it was like 10 news channels, one after another, and we didn't want to watch any news while we were on vacation.
Yeah.
And we saw a guy talking about a great white shark, and I was like, nope, we're not talking about great white sharks before we all go straight into the ocean. And that may have been negligent of me, but
Well,
still.
yeah, the mayor. I mean, we saw the mayor of Hilton Head came on and said, "There's no way in hell we're shutting down the beaches."
That's right.
We got a fireworks
It's a
display,
4th of July weekend.
and then
Wait a minute.
Roy Scheider
Yeah.
and Popeye went out on a dinghy with
That's right.
with Rob Riggle or whoever the other guy was, Richard Dreyfuss,
Rob Riggle.
and
was
they
Rob
shoot.
Riggle wasn't even born yet.
They
I don't
didn't.
think.
They didn't kill it. They shoot it away. You don't. That's get
Yeah.
poured a little shark be gone.
Yeah. So they just had it in a little spray.
It's like the Batman had shark spray.
That's right. Anti-shark spray.
That's right.
Last week you were talking about your vacation
Yeah.
in Florida, and you had blood in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And you were chased by
Serial killers.
alleged serial killers in the
Yeah.
car, and then you were hugged and groped by Winnie the Pooh, and there were just
He kissed me on my bald head.
That's right. And there were people screaming at Star Wars characters, and
Yeah.
and you had all of that. And we didn't have any of that.
Well-
We were like day 5 on the or 4 or 5 on the vacation, and I was getting concerned because nothing had happened. I mean, there were 2 days in a row where we went to the beach. We had our tent set up, and we fell asleep on the beach. We had our shade and the sound of the ocean and the breeze, and you could occasionally hear a seagull fly over, and it was just the best. And we had not relaxed like that in quite some time, and it was absolutely amazing until like day 4 when this jackass, we're there on the beach. We went to the beach every day, and akin similar to your vacation before we left.
Bring your mic a little closer to your, because I've got you up to max. And
Yep.
You're still a little low.
Okay.
Scoot in a little bit. Say A to
Yeah.
Z's.
Hey, A, B, C, D, E.
Laugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should have done all this before the show. This is a perfect time to check and make sure that the microphones have good
Yeah,
levels.
You've never seen
right in the middle of the
David Letterman
damn
never
show.
did that. Just
No.
like, Paul, can we hold on?
Yeah,
Paul,
David,
check,
the microphone. Check 1, 2, 3, David. Yeah. Where was I?
We're nothing if not professional.
Yeah, that's right.
Nothing had happened.
No.
You were getting concerned.
That's right. I had written down nothing except we fell asleep on the beach. So day 4, we're on the beach. We went to the beach every day, right? And there's this guy, and this is one of my biggest pet peeves, and I've talked about this on the podcast before. If you are on the beach, you don't need to play your damn music, okay? And listen, I don't know what makes you think that you have to play music so loud that everybody on the entire East Coast has to listen to your music. But there are people who don't want to listen to your music, okay? And we can't choose just not to listen to your music. You have to listen to somebody else's music if they're playing it. If you have to listen to music on the beach, wear headphones. Get some earplugs. If you can't stand it, if you just can't sit on the beach and listen to the ocean and enjoy the sun and the breeze, then get some earplugs, okay? But stop making everybody listen to your music. So, like I said, day 4, we get on the beach, and there's this guy 2 tents down. He parks his tent there and his self and his stupid face, and he starts playing his music, right? And we were there first.
Neil Diamond. Was he playing some Neil Diamond?
No, there was one guy who was actually playing like classical opera music.
Okay.
I'm like, really? Because there's times where, well, at least they're playing Jimmy Buffett.
There's a time. There's a time and a place.
At least they're playing something that's kind of beachy, kind of summery. Yeah, the one guy was playing opera music, and then one guy's playing his rap music. And I'm not going to get into my disdain for hip hop and current rap music. If it's not Young MC or Digital Underground, I'm not really a fan. Okay. I'm not going to name who because I will get talked to like you were last week. We're under our tent. We're enjoying the shade, and the people next to us are playing music. They left their tent for a while. I don't know if they went inside. I don't know if they went to the beach. I don't know if they went for a walk. All I know is they left their tent.
They may have ran afoul of that shark.
Exactly. Somebody went over and turned down their music.
Oh. Billy Badass. No, wait. When you say somebody, are you saying somebody in your party?
I cannot answer any further questions.
Okay, so it was somebody in your party.
I cannot confirm or deny.
If it was just some rando, you would have told me. That is awesome.
Went over and boop. Because you're not even there.
Well, okay,
if you're not there, then why do you have music playing?
I want to dig into this for a minute. I want to dig into this briefly. I want to get into the psychology of this. So when you're going over to touch another person's music,
that sounds... I'm going to touch another person's music.
Do you lower it down just enough for them to notice, or do you lower it down like it's lower, and I want you to notice it's lower, and when you're looking around, I'm going to be staring right at you?
Again, I am not prepared for follow-up questions concerning this matter. There are some people who would have preferred to have turned it all the way off. But like I said, I cannot confirm or deny who turned down the music, but it was turned down, and that made me feel so good. while we were on vacation, I don't know when you go to the beach if your family ever gets the rare odd sunburn.
Yeah.
My oldest son, Jacob, and I don't know how he did it because we were all applying sunscreen. Okay, we put on so much sunscreen, we look like members of KISS. Right before we leave the hotel room. I watched him. He put sunscreen on his face and his nose and his shoulders. He got his legs. He got the top of his feet. You always got to get the top of your feet.
People don't think about the top of your feet, but it's important.
If you've never had a sunburn on the top of your feet, oh boy, howdy, you don't know. But anyway, we watched him, and one day I applied sunscreen on his back, and one day Libby applied sunscreen on his back. So he's 21, but he's still our kid, so we're going to help him apply sunscreen.
People can't reach their own backs.
No, they can't. No, they absolutely cannot.
And before you write in the comments, no, they can't. And you don't know of anybody that can. People can't put sunscreen on their own backs.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Next.
I don't know how he did it, but somehow he wiped all the sunscreen off of his nose. And the first night at Hilton Head, we came in and everybody showered and we were getting ready to go out to dinner. His nose looked like you had dipped it in red paint. And we all apologized. We're like, buddy, I'm sorry, but I cannot stop staring at your nose. We did not make any Rudolph jokes.
It draws attention.
It really didn't glow, but I mean, it was. And we don't understand it because we all watched him apply sunscreen to his nose. By the way, when he was a kid, he used to call it sunscreen, and we still call it sunscreen nowadays. So he had the unusual sunburn of the week. Cameron got his shoulders real good, and we had to enforce the T-shirt at the beach rule. And he was fine doing that because he didn't get any more. Sunburned. You have the Irritable Dad Syndrome T-shirt with the QR code on it. I don't have one of those QR code shirts. So when I'm on vacation, I resort to, like, I wrote irritabledadsyndrome.com in the sand.
Hey, there you go.
Let's see how many people check our website. Libby and I were at an elevator, and there's a guy standing next to us, and he was waiting to get on the elevator. And I said, Libby, maybe one of these days we'll buy a property like this. Once that podcast money starts kicking in, we'll be able to do that because you never know what takes off. And then he says, and I'm waiting for him to go, oh, you host a podcast? And I would have said, sure, blah, 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 because we've got one floor to go down, and that's long enough to talk to a guy about this. And he says, yeah, you know what you do? You never know when something's going to take off. About 10 years ago, I was involved in 2 major lawsuits. I beat both of them, and now I've got $110,000 in my bank account.
Say, buddy, it's not about you.
Libby and I were like, okay. Like, well, I was really going to, mention the podcast, but whatever. No idea what this guy was talking about. No idea what the criminal lawsuits he was involved in.
Yeah, he may have killed people and gotten scot-free or something.
He may be one of those guys that goes around on the beach and just turns off people's music. Yeah. He might be, yeah.
This portion of our show is brought to you by Diff Liquid Concentrated Wallpaper Stripper. With its unique enzyme action, Diff dissolves old paste and cuts wallpaper removal time in half. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and I'm a happily married man. One thing the little wife and I like to do is strip wallpaper. It really helps us keep the spark alive, and it can work for you too. Put on some Berry White, pour a couple of glasses of wine, and break out the Diff. Things will get steamy real quick, even though no steamer is needed when using Diff. So run out to your corner hardware store and grab a bottle of Diff. Your marriage will last forever and ever. Now back to you guys in the studio.
So we were in Hilton Head, and the 4 or 5 times we've been there, we've always talked about going to Savannah. I always wanted to take a drive down.
Up there, Savannah,
Georgia. Savannah, yeah.
They have peaches there.
They do have peaches down there.
And the sweet tea.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God, sweet tea runs amok all through that area. The Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. So we went to Savannah, and I got there, and we're driving around, and Mike, I saw, and this, I was so bummed about this. I found one parking space, but I had to parallel park in it. Now, I haven't parallel parked in a couple of years, at least. I don't know how good you are at it.
I avoid it like the plague. I can do it.
The last time I did it was when I taught Jacob how to do it, and that was before he got his driver's license. So that was 4 years ago. I find this spot, and I'm trying to parallel park, and I screwed it up the first time. And Libby is like very, very supportive, and she is one of those women who always has your back. Always has your back. She says, "Do you want me to do this, honey?" I said, "No, I've got this." I tried it on the second time, and my God, I parallel parked like a boss.
Parallel park the shit out
I
of that
did.
car.
I parallel parked the shit out of that like a boss, and I got out, and I'm like, "Hey, hello, did these people started walking down?" I said, "Did you see that? Did you see that?" And they said, I'm sorry, what?" They think they think I'm crazy, and they're not off. They're not wrong.
They're just
I
jealous.
said, I just parallel. Look at that. Can you look at that? And they actually took the time to walk around. They're like, "Wow, your tires are like an inch away from the curb. That's wow."
Yeah.
And then the man who man appreciates parallel parking more than a woman. And I'm not trying to be sexist, but he went and noticed that the front bumper was the same distance from the car ahead of us as the back bumper was from the car behind us.
That's what you call customer service, folks.
That's
It's
right.
not required. It's just an added bonus when Darin parallel parks a car.
But it was great. It was so much fun parallel parking and talking about that. And after I was done talking to these complete strangers, I noticed that my family were 4 blocks away.
Hiding their faces.
They've already started
embarrassed.
walking.
Yeah.
And this is where Libby's going to say, "We did not walk away from you, Darin." Comic embellishment, strictly for the podcast.
Yeah.
We walked around Savannah, and Savannah is a beautiful little town. You can every direction you turn, you're going to take a beautiful picture.
Did they have
in
ice
Savannah.
cream? It seems like they would have good ice cream there.
They did have some ice cream, but it didn't rock my world or
Oh,
anything.
well, then
Yeah.
piss on Savannah.
Yeah. So we're walking around Savannah, and we were going to go to the art museum in Savannah, and we find the place, and it says no entry in this door. And so we walked around, no entry in this door, and we walked around, no entry in this door, and we're walking. We finally get to the glass door where you walk in, and there's a lady that says, "Oh, I'm sorry, the museum is closed for like another 4 days for renovations."
Oh, for God's sake.
And I'm like, "You could have put that on the other 4 sides of the building."
Yeah.
Right?
My question is, what the hell?
Anyway, she gave us free passes,
Oh.
which are good for, I think
Today.
I think they're good for 3 years.
Okay.
So if anybody is going to Savannah, Georgia, let me know, and I will give you our passes to the SCAD Museum. The highlight of our trip in Savannah was we took the Savannah for Morons tour. It's a trolley, it's air conditioned, and there are 2 comedians who host this thing. 90 minutes long. We laughed before the thing took off, and we were laughing as we got out. They were out of their minds, hysterical. It was they claimed to be identical twins, except one is a woman, and she says the way to tell us apart is my name is spelled Danny with an I, and the other Danny says, "And I'm black." So you got a black guy and a white girl, and they're wearing these floral looking jumpers with what's that pink bird?
Flamingo.
A flamingo jumper. They're wearing these flamingo jumpers. As soon as the tour starts, they said, "Before we start, we really need to do our stretches." And this woman, Danny with an I, puts her leg on my armrest and starts doing these deep knee bend stretches with her crotch literally a foot away from me. And she's like, "Up here, eyes up here. Look at me. Look at me. These stretches are very important, sir. Eyes up here." They went through asking everybody what's your name, where you're from. They were making fun of people from Belgium. They really loved making fun of people who lived in Charlotte. And they said, Savannah is better than Charleston, not as nice as New Orleans.
Okay.
And they're going around, and they said, every building we passed, by the way, this is where this thing happened, and that's why it's the most haunted building in Savannah. And then this was the most flammable building in Savannah, the most haunted street in Savannah. And I'm doing it no justice, but honestly, we were laughing our faces off the whole time. They ended it with a giant lap dance for everybody.
Okay.
Danny with an I was giving a lap dance to this married couple, married for a year, and she starts hanging from these the handrails at the top, and she's just thrusting and gyrating over them. Her butt's 1 foot away from my head.
Welcome to Savannah.
Like, what the hell is going on here? The area where they shot the scene from Forrest Gump, where he was on the bench waiting for the bus.
Yeah.
That's in Savannah. There's the street where Julia Roberts was walking around for something to talk about. That's in Savannah.
Okay.
It was amazing.
Was the Walking Dead? Did they do something? Was that one of the places where there was a farm and a guy and they killed somebody?
If so, it wasn't covered on the tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, The Walking Dead was originally, that stuff was shot near Atlanta, wasn't it?
Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah.
Atlanta, Savannah. What's the difference?
Atlanta, Savannah.
Atlanta.
Boom. We went back to Hilton Head for a few more days, and exactly like you, when you went on vacation, we were told that the weather, it was going to thunderstorm like 5 or 6 days while we were on vacation. And it rained twice, and both times were at night. Once while we were driving to a restaurant, and then it rained a little bit while we were driving to Savannah. Yeah. So, I mean, we were driving down to Hilton Head just bummed, like, I mean, I guess we're going to go to a lot of movies if it rains as much as it says it's going to rain. The weather could not have been more beautiful.
That's how we were the entire time we're driving down. I mean, you just, this is going to suck. Why couldn't we bring this weather with us? And then it did get really rainy around the Peanut.
Right. That's right. The Peanut Monument.
And then after that night, it was fine.
Yeah. We've had the adventure vacations. Like when we went to Yosemite last year, we did a lot of hiking and a lot of driving around and it wore us out. This year we got to swim every day. We went to the beach every day. We saw all kinds of turtles. There were like a dozen or so turtles in the pond outside of our hotel. And then we're walking up to our room and Louis says, "Oh, hey, look, it's a deer." And I looked and I said, "Hey, there's 2 deer. Wait a minute. 3, 4, 5, 6 deer. 6 of them." And they're just looking at us like, "Hey, man, what's going on?" And they're just eating all the shrubs at our condo there. And then the next day they were there again. They just came back for more shrubbery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they ask you why you turned down their music?
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Meemaw's Country Kitchen Cheese Titties, the crispy, cheesy treats you'll crave. Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and I love titties, especially Meemaw's Country Kitchen Cheese Titties. Baked with a rich, sweet, and cheesy flavor, you'll taste the difference when you bite into these titties. These snacks are so good, if you put one titty in your mouth, I'll guarantee you'll want more. Meemaw's Country Kitchen Cheese Titties. Ask for them by name. Now back to you, Mike and Devin.
So I had a mouse in the garage.
Another one.
Yeah, well, no.
You had one previously.
Did I talk about that on the podcast?
Yeah, you talked about I thought you did.
Or did I edit I may have edited that out.
Let's start again.
Okay. I had a mouse in my garage.
What?
Okay, I'm walking. Hey, what happened? Yes. That's the amount of...
No.
Yeah, I had a mouse in the garage.
Wow.
Walking into the garage and I see this little blur run across my feet. I'm like, great, here we go. So last year this happened. This was closer to wintertime. And I reached out to my neighbor, Chris Michael, who's one of my best friends in the whole world. And I said, "Do you have any mouse traps?" Because I didn't feel like running out and buying any. He says, "Sure." And I ran over and borrowed 2 of these black plastic mouse traps. Okay. And I set them both. And within a day or 2 days, I'd caught the mouse. By caught, I killed the mouse. Thrown it away, washed off the traps. And Chris says, "You can keep them." So I kept the traps. I see another mouse. So I take these 2 black plastic traps and I set them up. One I put peanut butter in and one I put cheese because I hear that mice love peanut butter.
Yeah.
Right. So I set them both, and the next day the food was off the traps. The mouse had taken the food off of not one trap, both traps. And that pissed me off.
You got an engineer mouse.
Yes.
In your...
Yeah. I don't know. You got a daredevil mouse.
Yeah.
So I set the 2 traps again. And then I was talking to a friend of mine. And he told me to get the glue traps. Now, I didn't want to get glue traps because I kind of feel bad for the mouse because you get stuck to the glue and then...
They just starve or whatever.
But I didn't care. So I set the 2 plastic traps and then I set 2 glue traps. The next day I come out there, the food had been taken off the glue traps and the plastic traps. This mouse is pissing me off.
This mouse is doing like a Tom Cruise thing,
Right.
descending down to get the
So I went and bought some of those wooden OG metal traps. And I'm setting one
like
in
a
one,
medieval freaking like a crossbow.
not like a guillotine.
The
It's
classic mousetrap snap.
Snap. And one snapped on my finger while I'm trying to set it. That hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts. So now I've got 2 plastic black traps, 2 wooden OG steel traps, and then I set 2 more glue traps. The mouse is taking food out of those as well.
now you're feeding the mouse.
I'm just, yes. And this mouse is like, this is great. There's a buffet here every night. And I'm getting more and more pissed. And then I finally went and I bought these little blue, they're catch and release traps. You put food at the end of it, the mouse walks in it, and then the back of it closes. I finally caught the mouse.
Okay. Yeah.
I caught the little son of a bitch. And I told everybody I said, when I catch this mouse has stolen like $100 worth of food from me. Again, comic embellishment for the podcast. This mouse has really
you're going to make
me
him
off.
work it off. You make him clean the toilets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no, I was so pissed. I'm like, I'm going
Okay, this went dark. This turned into a Saw movie.
No, I was thinking of all the horrible things I was going to do because I hated this mouse so much. And I caught it. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Cameron and I got in the car. We drove it over to the pond, and I let it go, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I think if there were any issues with me, I'm going straight into heaven now. So let the mouse go, and I wished it luck. I'm like, just, go, run, free, do your little thing, you stupid mouse. I posted the video on my Facebook page, and people can't just be happy. Have you ever noticed, Mike, people can't be happy?
No, yeah.
There are people who just can't be happy. 2, 3, 4 people like, well, when you see one mouse, that means there's 7 others. Or there's probably got a whole nest. There's a herd. There's, I hope somebody actually said, I hope you drop that mouse off more than 5 miles away from your house because it's going to come back. Really? The mouse is going to come back because I dropped it off.
I hope it does.
I took it half a mile away.
I hope in the middle of the night, a little mouse-sized Volkswagen Beetle just pulls up.
Yeah.
A mouse gets out with his suitcase and his hat.
This is the place. That's the place. I recognize the front door. Yeah. So everyone's saying, oh, you're going to have more mice. And like 3-4 days pass, and I don't see any more mice. And we're getting ready to leave on vacation. And I'm like, well, I think our mouse problem is over. I still had some traps set in the garage there. And we came home, and the traps are still empty. And I'm like, okay, we're good. So we come home late. We got home late on a Saturday night. And then Monday, Jacob comes into the house and he goes, oh, Dad, we caught another mouse. Son of a bitch.
Mouse 2,
Yes.
The Revenge.
Electric Boogaloo. Yeah. This time it's personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody asked me, was it the same mouse? I didn't fingerprint it. I didn't track it. I didn't.
Did you get a mugshot of this second one?
I didn't do a DNA
Process
swab.
him.
Was it the same mouse? Was it the same mouse? Honest to God.
Yes.
So now in my garage, I still have like 5 or 6 traps set. We've got people at the house now. They're redecorating our entire bathroom. Okay, they took out the vanity and the mirror, and they're redoing our shower. We got rid of our big ass giant bathtub, and they're redoing the whole thing. And so they came over, and I told them, I said, one, I was kind of embarrassed because we have a mold problem. The bathtub that we're going to have hauled out, that we're going to have replaced completely, started leaking. I don't know when, 2-3 weeks ago or whatever, and it's caused some mold damage in the room directly below it. And I'm talking to the contractor, and I said, we've got this problem. It's embarrassing. We got mold. And he says, dude, we see mold everywhere we go. And he says, fixing this is not going to be a problem at all. Don't worry about it. So I'm happy that he's going to fix the mold damage. And then he said, I was telling him about we've caught 2 mice in the garage. He goes, hey, man, we found a rat that's like the size of a work boot last week. And this rat at this other person's house had been stealing cookies, would go under the counter and get, he said, we found a rat with like 5 or 6, a stack of cookies. I'm like, you're me. No, the rat was stealing cookies. So at least I don't have a stealing cookie rat.
Wow.
Did you see the Fantastic Four?
No, have you?
I did.
Is it good?
It's really good.
I hate people who ask this question. I'm about to ask it, and I'm going to appropriately hate myself after I ask it.
Okay.
Is it better or worse than Superman? I hate when people try to compare.
You can't really compare them.
It's stupid.
You can't really compare them because...
Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it.
Okay.
We enjoyed it all very much.
Yeah.
My entire family mocked and ridiculed me when we went to see it Friday morning when we were on vacation. Cameron and Jacob were getting their picture taken in front of the Fantastic Four poster, and Libby and I said, hey, how about we get a whole family shot? Right? Mm-hmm. And so I didn't realize they were doing this, but Libby is holding up 4 fingers.
Okay.
Jacob is holding up 4 fingers. Cameron's holding up 4 fingers, and I'm sitting there like a dumbass with the thumbs up sign. I wasn't paying attention to what they were doing. And they're like, Dad, what are you doing? Why are you... They were so humiliated and... what?
Yeah.
Like, what? This is what
It's like, screw you, Dad.
I'm happy.
Screw you.
And they're like, we're doing the 4 fingers.
Yeah.
Fine. So we had the guy who worked at the theater. And by the way, when was the last time you went to a theater that wasn't an AMC theater? We got to see a movie without Nicole Kidman at the beginning.
Oh.
And it was delightful.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he takes a photo of us, and this time I've got all 4 fingers up. He takes a photo. He must have zoomed out. It looks like he took it from the sun. I mean, you could see 4 foot of headroom above us, 2 feet of carpet below us.
Yeah.
Like, Mike, zoom in. Take a frickin' God.
When we saw Superman, I didn't realize that we were in an AMC theater until it started, and then we see the car pull up and the puddle and then her heel.
Yes.
And the movie it was packed. Every seat was filled. It was dead quiet, but everyone in our row heard me go,
oh,
you gotta be freaking kidding me.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Yeah, I know.
They've
been doing it for years.
I have one,
and we said 2 years ago on this podcast, have her do a different one, revise it, have George Clooney do it, do the same message. But it's like, my God, we've seen it 100 times.
Yeah. So I actually have 2 more tales.
Mike,
if I may.
You may.
Is this open mic time? Are we in open mic?
Open mic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Mike, get it, Mike Odell.
2 things. One is we saw Steve Hofstetter. Bess and I saw Steve Hofstetter at the Laugh Banana or the Factory, the Laugh Liberty Center Funny.
The Funny Bone.
The Funny Bone.
That's where I famously bombed.
So I got tickets.
My God, was I horrible that night.
I got tickets months ago.
Okay, Steve Hofstetter.
And they had VIP tickets.
Uh-huh.
And I read, and VIP tickets are right up against the stage.
Okay.
And they were like $5 more. So I was like, I'll get the VIP tickets because I don't know if you follow Steve Hofstetter. He gets heckled. He became kind of famous on the interwebs for blasting back at the hecklers. He's really good at putting down hecklers. Not like putting down, like he doesn't murder them. But anyway.
He's not going and turning down their music, so to speak.
And so we go up and you have to share a table. Me and Bess, and we're sharing a table with another couple. Mm-hmm. And we're talking to them, and they have wristbands. We're like, what's the wristbands? And they're like, oh, we're the meet and greet.
Oh.
Where you go and you meet.
You meet them, and then they greet you.
And greet.
Now, do you greet them, or do they greet you?
It's complicated.
Wouldn't that be something? We're talking, if you signed up for a meet and greet and they're just waiting for you to say hello to them? So hello, Paul Stanley.
They're a wonderful couple, and they ask, like the lady leaves the table for some reason, and the guy's like, yeah, I'm really here because of her.
Right.
She's the big fan. I like him, but I don't, whatever. And we have a moment of silence, and then he looks at me. He's like, would you want to meet him? And I said, yes. And
sure.
So he just starts peeling off his band and gives it to me.
Uh-huh.
And then they come around to the tables for the meet and greet people, and I get to go back into the meet and greet. Now, here's the deal. If you're in the meet and greet, you're supposed to be ready to ask a question.
You're like, hi.
I was unprepared.
You're like, do you like telling jokes?
Yeah, I was ill prepared for this. And we go back into the green room, and it's a room about half the size of that back there.
Oh, that's what I know about comedy clubs. The green room is, yes, it's a closet.
It's a closet.
Plus
and
5 feet.
He's sitting in a chair just like we're sitting in now, and there's a couch about half the size of this one, and all these people are just sitting there, and they are so excited, and I'm so embarrassed.
You're like, do you go by Steve or Steven?
I was closer to him than I am to you. Well, no, about the same distance, because
Okay.
there was a lady right here and him, and he was being very, you could tell that he does this all the time. People ask their questions, and I don't want to put down anyone's question.
Okay.
Y'all need to put more time in your questions. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? I will say this. He has very political humor.
Okay.
One of the questions was, do you fear for your life? Do you have a bodyguard? And I did that. I did what you just did.
Oh, God.
I was like, you remember, everything goes back to Breaking Bad. Do you remember the Breaking Bad episode when they're they make the teachers, including Walter White, stand in front of all the students, and they have a moment where they want to talk about their feelings because of the plane crash.
Yeah.
And the people were talking about how horrible it was, and Walter White's like, Jesus. That's what I was. And the lady asked, do you need to have a bodyguard? And I was like, oh my God. I couldn't help it. It just came out. And I know he heard me. I couldn't help it. Anyway, so he answers all those questions. It comes around to the lady that took me back with her, and she said, I don't have any questions. I'm just a huge fan. And then he comes to me. And I just said, here's what I said. I said, this is the second meet and greet I've ever been to in my life. The first was Dave Mustaine. And I was as close to Dave Mustaine as we are right now. And he said, well, hopefully I'm a little nicer to you than Dave Mustaine was. And I was like, it would be impossible for you not to be.
You know what? You had what's called an original opener.
Yeah.
And ooh.
And I said, it's a similar story because when I met and gret Dave Mustaine, I did not know that I would be meeting and greeting him because I didn't go for that day, much like tonight. I didn't plan to be in this room with you right now, so I really don't have a question. But while I've been blabbing, I came up with one. I said, I've been following you, I realized, for about 10 years, which thank you for making me realize how old I am. I came to you because you are, you put down hecklers. You attack hecklers. And he came back, he gets this a lot, I guess. He's like, yeah, it's the gateway drug. It's how people get to me.
Right.
And I said, have you had a moment where it's like, oh my God, I'm the heckler guy, and now all of my sets are going to be like tons of people coming to heckle. And the other reason I'm bringing this up is, I wanted to point out how I think under pressure. I did come up with a decent question.
Yeah, you did.
And then his answer was actually no. He's like, I've really only had 2 people that I can think of that showed up just to heckle me, because he said people seem to realize it doesn't go well for them.
Right.
And he's like, it takes a lot for someone, A, to heckle, and B, to do it purposefully. People really don't typically want to ruin their nights out by doing that. And
Right.
and he just went on and on. I forgot what else he said, but he was extremely nice dude.
yeah.
Gave us all kinds of gifts. I have all of his comedy albums now,
Okay.
a signed children's book.
Nice.
And something else. I don't know where it is. And anyway, we met. They had a question and answer after the show, which is what he does. And one of his openers, we're slated to have on this show.
Awesome.
She's going to visit us, Georgia Warder.
Cannot wait.
Yeah. And so that's going to be exciting.
I applaud you because you cared enough to want to ask something original, like because you don't want to.
I don't want to be the.
I don't want to meet Dave Mustaine and tell him this.
Where do you get your ideas?
Yes, no, I don't want to meet James Taylor and tell him "Fire and Rain" is my favorite song, because he hears that every single time, and I always try, and by always I mean I've met a handful or more of celebrities. I met Peter Tork from the Monkees, and I told him, I said, I loved the episode of Wings where they auctioned off the Monkey Mobile. Your reaction was hilarious. And he said, you saw that? I said, yeah. And he was impressed that somebody not only saw it, but remembered it, okay? When I met Billy Bob Thornton, I asked him, is it harder to write a screenplay or a song? And he really went through the whole, I was like, well, God, it's like with the song, you write the verse and the chorus and this. And with the screenplay, you set up your main character and then the thing or whatever. And he went through, like, he really made an effort to try and answer my question, and he's like, I'm kind of stumped on that, you know. And so, ask if you meet somebody, try and ask them something that they haven't been asked a gazillion times.
Yeah, I get terrified of meeting people like that because I met another person who's famous, and this was in the dark period. Mike used to be politically different than Mike is now.
Right.
So me and Bess met Glenn Beck.
Okay.
And
he's the guy who did Where It's At.
Yeah.
2 turntables and a microphone.
I couldn't think of anything to say, so I just pointed at Bess and said she voted for the other guy. And that did not go well because we're in a parking lot in Indiana. And to his credit, he did say, that's okay. I've made some horrible mistakes in my life, too. And we all laughed. She reminds me of that every once in a while. And it's embarrassing. There's a picture. I have a picture of me with him. The point is, I get terrified when I meet people because I don't want to be the guy that asks the stupid question.
Right.
And it became like when they did the same thing when I met Dave Mustaine and Megadeth, and I'm like, I'm not asking.
Right.
Actually, I have the same question I think Dave has right now, which is why the is there a cow mooing up in the rafters?
Last week I mentioned that I went to see Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top.
William
F. Gibbons of ZZ Top. He did a free show on July 4th here in Blue Ash, Ohio, and it was amazing. His opening act is this guy named Red Farron. Okay, and Red Farron does, he's kind of like a country / hip hop artist. It's country rap, or as my dad would call, crap.
That's a joke. Deal with it.
Red, if you're listening to it, I'm sorry. That's real. My dad used to say that. So, Red Farron is the opening act. Now, let me preface, this is a family show, okay? There are literally thousands and thousands of young kids, infants, toddlers, teens, okay, with their parents, with their grandparents. They all came to this family event to get an $8 corn dog and to watch ZZ Top and then to watch the fireworks explode, okay? So he is performing at this family show. Before he started every song, he would talk about usually how drunk he was when he wrote this song. He was sitting in a bar when he wrote this song. This song's about the time they were in a bar and they had Jack and Coke, so here's Jack and Coke. This song is called Champagne in the Morning, and it's about drinking champagne. And this song is about drinking, and this song is about drinking, and this song is about drinking. And every song, he says, we're going to sing the shit out of this one. Come on. And he would drink, like, you could tell that he was drinking half or all of the can of beer before every song. I don't know how many cans of beer he drank before each show. He was having a great time. The crowd was having a great time. Libby and I had never heard of this guy before. But every song, we're going to sing shit out of this one. Come on. Come on. And Libby's like, come on. Come on. And he does, like, one of his big hits is this song called Stuck, okay? And it was what's called an earworm. That's what the kids say. It's an earworm. It's country rap, and the lyrics, she got a look about her thinking that she's dangerous. People looking at us thinking that we famous. I ain't sure I was gonna go, but damn, I sure gotta know. She got me stuck like a truck, deep mud, deep ruts, way out in the cut. She got me stuck. Even 4-wheel drive won't work this time. Yeah, come on. And like for a week after the show, Libby like, because I'm stuck. Like a 4-wheel drive, I'm stuck.
I want to give him credit. He's got a word that ends in uck, and he didn't. He didn't go. Well, he didn't take the eat.
He did say that word too.
Okay.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Thousands of kids. I think he says I got too much respect for ZZ Top because he says we're having so much fun, but we're going to do 2 more songs. I've got to get off. He says I don't want to piss off ZZ Top. I want to f this thing up. So come on, and drinks a beer and does his thing. So I mean, entertaining. He's this is my first #1 song. Come on, but yeah, he was.
I think we need to start doing that at this show.
Come on.
I'm Mike, I'm Darin. Come on.
Come on. We're going to do the out of this podcast.
Go tell the out of this story.
Come on. Oh, guys, this is fun. This was really fun. I'm glad to be back from vacation. We hope you go to TikTok and Instagram and all the places where we have our videos and like and share them. We hope you go to irritabledadsyndrome.com and listen to previous episodes. Tell your friends, okay? Please tell your friends and your family and your pastor, your boss. Tell everybody about Irritable Dad Syndrome and help us out. We hope to see you next week on Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Irritable Dad Syndrome is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.
Now we are in the wine club, and we don't know how that happened.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell that story. Cut all that. There's nothing funny about that story.
Okay. That's right. Not irritable bowel syndrome, irritable dad syndrome. Silly.
Speaking of
Sorta.
shiny, I've been getting ads for you're supposed to put on your bald head to keep it from being shiny, which is something I never cared about.
Right.
Until I started getting the ads saying that you have a shiny head.
What are you doing?
I'm fixing this. This is
Okay,
to
you're seriously distracting the crap out of me.
I'm sorry.
I thought you were adjusting.
I am.
No, I thought.
No, not the sound.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
This is distracting our viewers.
Oh, okay.
We're all good now.
Hi, welcome back. So when I'm out and about, and also the one Irritable Dad Syndrome T-shirt I have, it don't fit me anymore. And you're going to think that I'm screwing around, but it seriously. It shrunk. I was the same fatness when I bought it. It shrunk. It does not fit me comfortably. So I don't wear that. And I need to get another one. Anyway, no, the boys got some type of treat that came with some type of, like a milkshake that came with a cookie in it or something.
Yeah.
$15 a piece.
The head deer.
The head deer.
Yeah.
The head deer looks at me like, hey man, leave my music alone. What type of music do you think deer listen to? Come on. Because I'm stuck. Woo, we're going to do that one.
Voices, 1,000 voices, whispering. The time has passed for choices. Golden days are passing over, yeah. I can't seem to see you, baby. Though my eyes are open wide, but I know I'll see you once more. When I see you on the other side, I'll see you on the other side, leaving. I hate to see you cry, for grieving. I hate to say goodbye. Dust and ash forever, yeah. Though I know we must be parted, as sure as stars are in the sky, I'm gonna see you when it comes to glory. When I see you, I'll see you on the other side. God knows I'll see you on the other side. Never thought I'd feel like this. Strange to be alone, but we'll be together, carved in stone, carved in stone, carved in stone. Hold me tight, I'm falling far away. Distant voices calling. I'm so cold, I need you, darling. I was down, but now I'm flying straight across the great divide. I know you're crying, but I'll stop